Well, I'm happy with the roster. As I mentioned a couple of times, we will use the windows in order to strengthen our squad. And with Raul Gustavo coming in, I think we've made a good choice bringing him in, and we can't wait to see him. The window hasn't closed yet, so who knows what will happen today? We'll have to wait and see.
Roberto, in the room?
Uh, Hi, Pascal. You mentioned last week that you had 10 finals to go
Yeah.
for the rest of the season. And the team in the first 15 minutes against Nashville, according to even your words, right, left a lot to be desired. How can you change the team, the way that they open against Cincinnati?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, Roberto. That was the question I asked my boys as well, because the way we prepare ourselves is exactly the opposite. So it was a surprise for me as well. On the other hand, the game is the game. Things happen. In this particular game, it was a few guys that weren't switched on just yet. So we're very grateful for the fact that we have Matt Freeze, and Matt kept us in the game. And we also know that if something does go wrong, we have one of the best goalkeepers of the country that can help us out. But that shouldn't be something that you should always rely on. You have to get your things together before these moments occur in the game. So we were fortunate to get it done after 10, 15 minutes, and that's when we started to control the game more and more and more. But that is the million-dollar question still. So I think it's based on having the right mindset, right mentality going into the game from the get-go, and that goes for everybody, especially in these top games.
Andres mentioned just before that during the first half
Hmm.
that you've given them liberties to do certain things on the field. And
Hmm.
one of the things was Maxi motioning to Andres that he should go and press high while he sits back a little bit more.
Hmm.
Can you talk about their ability to make those changes on the field and how you let them do that?
Um, yeah, well, what I can tell you, Roberto, is that if our possessional play for the players that are engaged for the first two phases of possession have control, that's when these moments will become more possible. Because if you lose possession fast and it's a transitional game, you won't even get the opportunity to have positions changed going forward. So, as I mentioned just now, if we control the games like we did in against Nashville after 20 minutes or so, that's when these moments will be possible.
One last one. As far as the health of the team, who's available and who isn't?
Apart from the usual suspects, it's unfortunately Nico Cavallo who is not available. The rest looks good, so we should be okay.
So that means Martins is back in the 18
Yeah.
or 20.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back to the Zoom, we'll go with Chris.
Hey, Coach, just to build on the health status for a little bit, can you update us on long-term prognostications for Malachi Jones and Keaton Parks?
Both will not be available for a while still. They're making progress. We got some good results back from yesterday concerning regarding Keats. So it's going in the right direction, and Malachi is getting stronger each day. So we're hoping he keeps on progressing, and hopefully he will be able to train with the squad sometime this year still. But we have to be patient.
Michael?
Pascal, it's Mike Andrew from Blue City Radio. Thanks for
Hi,
the
Mike.
time.
Hi.
Uh, you have two games with a relatively easy schedule as far as having a full set of training between each game, and then you get a break before you go into that difficult stretch. Do you feel like you're going to take advantage of this time to maybe run players out longer, maybe use Maxi more than you might have if you had to know that you had these games come up in tight succession?
No, that's not the way I look at the games that are coming our way. Your colleague already mentioned we approach this final stage in the league as 10 finals, starting with Nashville, and now the next one will be Cincinnati away, and that will be the approach until the final game of the MLS season is played, because our bigger goal is to get into the playoffs. So we have to take it game by game and look at the availability of players and just get the strongest squad out there on the pitch.
Christian?
Hi, Coach. Cincinnati currently sit top of the Eastern Conference. I'm just curious to get your perspective on what you can appreciate about them or what you think maybe has put them in that position.
Well, obviously it's a very, very good team. They had a great start of the season. I remember we played a good game against each other when they came to New York, so we're looking forward to playing this game in Cincinnati as well. But it's obvious that they are a good team. However, they've been somewhat struggling in the past few games. Also, if you take the Leagues Cup in the same run, conceding quite a few goals also, and they got back together the last game against Portland, if I'm not mistaken, and we have to make sure that we keep them in that spot and try to get that level of play that we did in game one.
Claro que sí, es algo que me encantaría seguir desarrollando. Por mi posición y en los equipos en los que he estado, de pronto he sido un poco más defensivo. Creo que esta capacidad la he ido desarrollando, trabajando a lo largo de los años, de los entrenamientos. Y claro que sí, la idea es seguir haciendo goles, seguir trabajando de la mejor manera y esperar a ver si la calidad sigue apareciendo con jugadores como Maxi, como Alonso, como Nico, que me están dando esa posibilidad de llegar un poco más al arco. Creo que con ayuda de Dios espero que se sigan viendo este tipo de oportunidades y de goles.
It's something that I've been developing over the last couple of years through training and through a lot of hard work. With the teams that I have been with in the past, I've been a little bit more defensive, but with the likes of Alonso, Maxi, Nico, they've been helping me develop my offensive game and hopefully the quality and stays there.
Were you ever a goal scorer in your youth days, like youth clubs, academies? Was there ever a time in your life where you were like scoring goals more frequently?
Sí, cuando estaba en categorías juveniles jugaba más adelantado. Por temporada sí hacía un par de goles, bastantes más que los que hago ahora. Pero creo que los roles y las posiciones cambian, entonces las prioridades para uno como jugador cambian. Pero contento de poder apoyar en el equipo cuando sea necesario con los goles.
In the youth ranks, I scored a lot of goals and I was a lot more offensively, but positions and roles change as you develop and play in different teams. So happy to be able to get these chances again and kind of work on that craft.
So in other words, you want to be a striker. Is that what you're saying?
Vamos, Nayar.
One more, just about the last game. It was very clear that the mantra, but the team was talking about leading into these last 10 games is that every game is a final. Every game's a cup final. You have to play it like that. So how would you, being on the field and seeing how the team performed maybe in the first 15 or 20 minutes of the Nashville game, how do you explain that? Because it was obviously not up to the standard you needed at that point in the game, and then you came back. But knowing that this game is so important, it just didn't have that feel at the beginning of the game.
Bueno, yo creo que es un juego más, pero cabe resaltar de que somos seres humanos y que a veces por más de que queramos hacer las cosas simplemente se dan así. Ahora tenemos que trabajar en que esta parte de la mentalidad no se vuelva a repetir, de que las cosas que hicimos en los primeros 15 minutos no sucedan nuevamente. Y ahora con el partido de Cincinnati va a ser interesante. Estos 9 partidos que nos quedan son finales para nosotros, como lo dijiste, y es asegurarnos en la mentalidad de que podamos competir como lo hicimos en los últimos 70 minutos del partido. Tratar de evitar ese tipo de cosas, pero aún así somos seres humanos que depende del día cómo nos levantamos y de las cosas cómo sucedan, pero ahora es asegurarnos y trabajar en eso para que no se repita.
It was just another game, but we're all humans, and it comes down to sometimes things don't happen and play out the way we want it to. So those first 15 minutes, I think it's a shifted mentality that we have to develop. We played really well in those last 70 minutes, and that's the mentality that we want to bring moving forward. We learned from the first 15 minutes, and these are the things that will not happen. But like you said, there are 9 finals left, starting with Cincinnati this weekend. So going to try to do a better part in getting the results needed and having the right mentality.
Right. Thank you.
On to the Zoom, we'll go with Chris.
Hey, Andres, Chris Campbell from the outfield. earlier in the year you were playing some decent minutes out on wing as opposed to the midfield. And now that Nico Fernandez Marcao is in the lineup, you've been selling more back into the midfield. How does it feel to be, back in the midfield? And do you think that your time spent out on the wing has benefited you at all as you move back into the middle?
Bueno, ahora claro que sí. El tiempo que jugué en la banda me ayudó bastante. En la posición de extremo me ayudó bastante para de pronto desarrollar y sentir un poco más esa parte ofensiva. Ahora volviendo a la mitad del campo me siento también bastante cómodo. Es mi posición natural, arrancando desde un poco más atrás. Creo que puedo desarrollar y mostrar lo más importante y lo que me hace jugar al fútbol profesional, que es mi transición. Y bueno, ahora he venido trabajando bastante en muchas posiciones. Soy un jugador que puede desarrollar varias posiciones defensivas como ofensivas. Y creo que lo más importante es ayudar en el equipo en lo que más lo necesite. Pero para responder tu pregunta, es sí, definitivamente jugar en la banda me ha ayudado mucho en la parte ofensiva, en de pronto desarrollar esa parte que no tenía. Y ahora volviendo a la mitad, me siento contento, feliz y tratar de hacer lo mejor que pueda hacer.
Yes, to answer your question, playing on the wing has helped me develop my game offensively. Going back into the midfield, it's a position that I'm comfortable with. It's what has helped me get to this point in my career. But I'm a player that can play various positions all throughout and just help the team. So I think that's the most important thing, helping the team wherever it's needed. Obviously, starting in the midfield, playing a little deeper, but with my transition play, very comfortable playing there. Andrew?
Hi, I'm Andrew Lee with Hudson River Blue. You and Cincinnati, you guys have played sort of a lot of tough, close games recently. What makes them such a tough opponent, especially now going into TQL Stadium on the road where they tend to be extra tough? And how do you guys sort of deal with the challenge of facing them now in the next match?
Bueno, ir a Cincinnati siempre es difícil. Es un equipo bastante competitivo. Tienen una línea de 5 jugadores que se hace bastante fuerte. Y en su estadio son demasiado fuertes. Son el primer equipo de la conferencia, entonces creo que han demostrado por qué, incluso no solamente en casa. Siempre va a ser difícil, es un partido competitivo, tenemos una rivalidad, incluso creo que ellos lo toman más personal porque el año pasado los eliminamos en los playoffs. Entonces creo que va a ser un partido interesante para nosotros, un partido interesante para ellos y va a ser, como se dice localmente, una guerra.
It's going to be an interesting game facing them. Obviously, I think they have a bit of a chip on their shoulders, given our recent encounters against them, having eliminated them from the playoffs. But Cincinnati is a very difficult place to play in. They play with the back five. They're very compact, and they are top of the East, so they clearly are a really good team. So we're looking forward to it, and we believe it's going to be a war on the field. Michael?
Hi, Andres. It's Mike Ander from Blue City Radio. Thanks for the time. Similar to Glenn's question, Coach said after the post game from Sunday that the first 15 minutes were really poor. He actually used the term shocking to him. Just curious about the change in tactics, because is there something that you saw on the field that you thought you might have needed to change, or were you waiting for the coach to make some changes and give you some recommendations on how you should be handling the pressure from Nashville?
Bueno, creo que algo muy positivo con Pascal es que nos da la libertad de tomar decisiones en algunos momentos cuando estamos dentro de la cancha. Él nos ayuda y nos da el camino para guiar el juego, pero hay momentos en los que los jugadores tenemos que ajustar un poco. Y creo que en ese momento Maxi tomó la decisión y sintió que la presión no estaba como debería de ser y ajustamos un poco en el medio del campo. Hicimos un cambio entre Max y yo en la posición, él bajó un poco más defensivo a sacar la pelota y yo fui un poco más a la parte de arriba a ayudar en la presión alta y al tratar de ser un poco más transicionales, sabiendo que ellos eran un equipo muy, muy fuerte y compacto. Entonces creo que ese tipo de decisiones nosotros como jugadores, de leer el juego y estar pendientes de que las cosas puedan mejorar, nos ayudó mucho. Entonces para responder tu pregunta sería, hubo un cambio táctico a los 15-20 minutos donde Maxi bajó un poco y donde yo subí a una posición más ofensiva para hacer la presión alta. y eso nos ayudó mucho a controlar un poco el avance de Nashville que nos costó en los primeros 15 minutos, sin dejar de lado de que la mentalidad de nosotros no empezó como debería de ser y esperamos que esto no se vuelva a repetir.
To answer your question, we just had a tactical change in game between Maxi and I. Maxi dropped a little bit deeper to help playing the ball out through the back, and I went a little bit more offensive to press and be on the forefront. Nashville is a very difficult team, a very strong team. They play really compact, so that was able to kind of open them up a little bit. But like I said, it's also the mentality that we need to change and that we have to learn from after those first 15 minutes. Pascal does a really good job in letting us express ourselves as players and make changes in game, and that's what we were able to do, and that changed the outcome of the game.